Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Here's some big news just in time for the Super Bowl. Draftkings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is officially live right here in New York State with mobile sports betting. That means you can place a bet no matter where you are with Draftkings Sportsbook. And Draftkings is making it even more exciting. Listen to this. DraftKings is giving new customers a special offer that you don't want to miss. Bet just $5 or more on the Super Bowl and win $280 in free bets if your team is victorious. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Sign up using code IHEARTNY. Bet just $5 or more and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code IHEARTNY this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full details. Must be 21 or older and physically present in New York. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andreas Michaelitis, Chief Psychologist at Noom. But what's Noom and why does Noom need a Chief Psychologist? Noom is a weight loss program that works, with results that last, because we know that changing the way you eat starts with your mind. With Noom's proven psychology-backed tools, one-on-one coaching, and flexible plans that emphasize progress over perfection, you'll have the tools you need to change your relationship with food. So sign up at Noom.com now and lose the weight for good. That's Noom.com.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile and get unlimited data for only $29.99 per month each when you get 2 or more lines. You could save hundreds on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Click to try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/save. Offer valid for new customers on 2 or more unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com for details.
Yes, we're back after a long respite. Beer Nuts is back. We're glad to be back with you. We couldn't miss celebrating the Superb Owl celebration, Super Bowl Superb Owl, to avoid any trademark infringements. But we're glad to be back. This is episode 193. It's been a while. JR here. I am in Phoenix, Arizona tonight at actually the Tombstone Brewing Company, Phoenix Brewery. And we have 4 other beer nuts with us. So let's go around the horn to Chris out in
I'm Chris in
St. Clair Shores, right?
Yep. Chris, I'm in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. It is good to be back. And it's the only way going to see a Detroit Lion in a Super Bowl this year. Oops, I said it. Oh. Well, we'll give the NFL a buck for that one.
Hey, well, with Eminem performing and Stafford in the Super Bowl, it's as close as the Lions are going to get, right?
Next to hosting it. That's right.
So, yeah, well, we're all a little rusty. It's been a while since we've done an episode, but let's move a little bit further west to Clawson. Dugout?
Yep. How's everybody doing tonight? This is Dugout in Clawson. It's good to be back. And, it's been a while. So just surviving winter, It's been kind of cold, and then it warms up just a little bit, and then it's going to get cold again.
All righty. Well, not so cold here in Arizona, but it's still pretty cold in Dearborn for Greg, who just got back from Hawaii.
I certainly did.
Welcome back, Greg.
Bummer for you.
Hey, yeah, bummer for me indeed, yeah. Good evening. Hello, everybody. It's good to be back with everybody as well. And I didn't know if we were doing Untapped check-in, but the last one I had was from Witch's Hat, The Lion, the Witch, and the Barrel Room, which was a delicious stout with it was chocolate, maple, blueberries, cinnamon, coconut. I mean, it had the whole 9 yards. So it was fantastic. Nice little warm-up for tonight.
Awesome. And we're just a little rusty. Forgot all about the Untapped stuff, but that's all right. We're going to have some good beers to enjoy tonight as we approach Super Sunday. And as we look to Superb Owl 56, we will introduce Steve V here from Los Angeles. And if anybody recalls, Steve was our special guest when the Rams made the Super Bowl a few years back. And we brought him in as a special guest for one episode. And he's been with us ever since. And we're thrilled about that. But as pretty cool that it's come full circle, and let's hope we get you a ring this time, Steve. So welcome back from Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I guess I'm like that stray cat, you feed once and they never leave. So hopefully we have a better ending this year than we did in 2019 when I came on to represent the Rams. But we're a different team. We got different players. Hopefully, and we're not playing Tom Brady. So
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah,
that's always a plus right there. But as far as weather-wise, the weather was great here, and on my way home from work, my son called me up and said, "Hey, let's meet for a beer." So my last Untapped check-in was from Highland Park Brewery. I had their what was it called, napping cat or something, but it was a rye saison, and it was delicious, and it was great sitting outside in the sun like a cat. And I don't know why this intro became a cat theme, but there you go.
That's all right. Well, let's hope that the Bengals are a cat. Let's hope it doesn't become too much of a theme. But anyway, it's great to be back, and it has been a while, but we're still around. We're still kicking. We're going to make it to episode 200. We got some big plans for some of the next several episodes, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But before we get into that, tasting some beers, I would just like to remind everybody that the theme of our show is not to be a bunch of pretentious beer snobs, but simply to introduce more good people to more good beer. And we're going to kick this off by going to Chris back in St. Clair Shores on the shores of Michigan. So take it away, Chris.
Well, I was telling you guys before we started, I mean, I got to hand it to my shop that I go to. I tried to find an Ohio or California beer. I was pretty hard. I could have took the easy way out and got a Ballast Point, right? But I was looking for something, and they apparently want to be a one-stop shop for Michigan stuff. So good for them. I picked up a beer, in the vein of rooting for Matt Stafford, I guess you could say. I picked up a beer from a brewery that seems to be, when we do get together, this brewery seems to be popping up more and more on this show. From Brew Detroit, I have their bourbon barrel-aged cold brew Detroit Imperial Coffee Stout. It's 13% ABV on the can. You open it up and chocolate hits you like right away, like as soon as you pop the can. I poured it. I mean, this thing I'm holding this up to the light. Nothing is getting through. I mean, it's to bring back in the spirit of Uncle Pete. This is a motor oil beer. Definitely. You put your nose in it. I mean, you're getting very sweet chocolate first, and then the coffee's coming in at the end. A nice thick lacing on this glass. I mean, it is sticking to the glass. So I guess you pretty much tell how this is going to feel in the mouth. So let's go. I mean, I drank ahead, guys, just so you know. But it seems to be the warmer this thing gets, you get chocolate. I mean, this thing is it. If you like chocolate, I know it says coffee on the can, but I'm really, I don't know. I've been joking with some of my friends. It seems like the last year or so, I don't know if I'm hitting menopause. I used to be indifferent to chocolate. All of a sudden, I love chocolate, and I can really taste the chocolate notes on this. The coffee comes in right at the end. When you swallow it, the booze hits you right away. I mean, it's a boozy aftertaste, but then right as the booze dies down, you get that coffee and that chocolate finish. Like this is superb. And I went to the Brew Detroit website. I guess I lucked out getting this in a can because apparently it's not widely. It's on the tap room menu. So not sure if you can find this out at this. I mean, this was something I found in the make your own beer section. So I mean, this is like a one-off can, but Brew Detroit bourbon barrel aged cold brew Detroit Imperial Coffee Stout. If you like coffee, if you like chocolate, I strongly recommend this. This is good.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I got a few friends that work at Brew Detroit. Great spot, great brew. That's a good one to kick it off with. Is anybody else up there in Michigan? Have either of you guys had that?
That one's escaped me. I'll be looking for that one for sure.
No, I have had that. It's been out for a little while, but I thought it was outstanding, and I think I picked it up a couple months ago. and I went through, I'd say 4 cans pretty rapidly. So I went back to the store and picked up another 4, and that was the last that they had of it. And they said it was really limited on distro. So
yeah. With each sip, I'm getting it more of that bourbon too. I've been on a bourbon kick for the last few months too. So I mean, maybe just my palate's used to it, but I mean, this is one of those beers. I mean, you guys have always said, some beers the warmer they get, just the more flavors come out. And just I'm at a crossroads with this thing because it's good, but I want to let it get a little warmer. I only got 1 can. I want to see what happens, but yeah, this is delicious.
Revisit.
Well, Chris, before we move on to the next, let's take your prediction on the winner. You can give a score if you want, or you can just say who you think will win.
Yeah, I'm conflicted because as a Lions fan, I want Matt Stafford to win to prove that just the cultures that the Fords have created is garbage. But at the same, I don't know, that Bengals offense, I just think they're clicking right now. I know Stafford's got weapons. I mean, if everyone keeps forgetting, if can't throw to Cooper Kupp, OBJ's on that team. Even though he's underrated, he's still a good receiver when he has his moments. I mean, it's, what? I've been saying it, I'm going to go with the Bengals by a field goal.
All right, 1 Bengals vote. Well, thank you for that beer. Steve V, probably not very happy with your selection, but we move on. So let's go over to Clausen, the dugout.
All right. Well, it's been a while. So my last Untapped check-in was, let me get there. Sorry, I had it. It's by Surly, and it was called Give Me Some More Darkness 2021. Ooh. And I've had 2 out of 3 in that series are bourbon barrel aged. Surly Darkness. The Some More Darkness had I guess marshmallows and graham crackers and stuff, because what else is in chocolate? What else is in a s'more, right? Besides bourbon. Killer beer, just outstanding. So if you see any of those, pick them up. I think there was one that was sort of old-fashioned with orange and something else in it. That didn't attract me. I mean, I don't like beers that taste like old-fashions. I'd rather just have an old-fashioned at that point. But there was a blueberry crumble that is the star of the series there.
Ooh, good to know.
A nice little box and a beautiful label and a can, and it's just really well done.
I'll let you know about the third one, Doug. I got all 3 sitting downstairs. So
okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, if it's good, I know where I can get it. So just let me know.
Yeah.
So I did go out and I looked for LA and from Ohio, and I was running into some trouble, and I finally was just like, you know what? I'm going with a Michigan beer, and for the same reasons as, and Chris had said about Stafford. And, I'm not a Lions fan, and this beer ties in to the team that I am a fan of, but Detroit fans can relate to the name of this beer too. But it's part of it's blotted out because I'm sure they wouldn't get the label through. But it starts with an F, 4 letters long, and it's dash, dash, dash. So you can just fill in the dash.
I know it. I know.
I have a few of those at home.
It's like
Fudge.
Awesome.
Yeah. Fudge is the working title for it, but we all know what it means.
You didn't say fudge.
It's from Transient Artisan Ale.
Yep.
And I think this is a 2021 here. It's their latest release of it. Henry McKenna Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Cream Stout with graham crackers, molasses, and ginger. Clock it in at a hefty 11.5%. And this pours out pretty much like you would expect an 11.5 stout that's been in bourbon barrels to pour. Now, the nose of it, you really get bourbon. You get some ginger off of the nose here also. Nice fleeting head for such a strong beer, and some lacing on the side, although that dissipates pretty quick. But yeah, the nose is really great. You get some dark fruit, like plums and figs, and bourbon. Bourbon. I got to let this warm up a little bit before the show started, so I think it's at perfect serving temperature. The balance of the flavors is incredible on this. You get the bourbon. The ginger is subtle, which ginger should be subtle if it's in a beer, in my opinion. I mean, unless it's a ginger beer. But the graham crackers give it some sweetness. Obviously, being a milk stout, it's got some lactose in it. The body is about medium. It's not super sludgy motor oil. But what I love about this beer, love about this beer, is the drinkability of it. There's nothing, everything melds together. It's like the synergy of the ingredients. There's not too much bourbon. There's not too much chocolate or graham cracker. It's just got a beautiful flavor to it. And, anybody that's listened to the show for a while knows I love transient beers. I know Greg loves them too.
Yep.
And, boy, these guys just continue to kill it. I mean, outstanding stuff.
Is this the one that's in the can, Doug, or is this a bottle?
No, this is a bottle. This is one of their 500 milliliters.
Okay.
I do see some distribution for them out and about now, and maybe I think they expanded a little bit in to another storefront next to them, and then that's been their barrel house, so they're able to produce a lot more barrel aged beers now. And that's a lot of what I'm seeing in some of the stores, and I don't think people realize what that stuff is. So it kind of sits there. It's a little pricey. And the store I buy it at adds their own little price element to it. So, you always got to pay $1 more for every beer that you buy at this place. So I'm not giving them a shout out. But yeah, I mean, it's blocks from the house. So, I mean, it's a convenience factor too. And they've always got a pretty decent selection of the transients. So my prediction is I'm thinking the Rams. I think, Burrow looks impressive. But, for Christ's sakes, the kid's 22. Not that makes a difference, but he's got plenty of time, in my opinion, to get back to where he's at right now. Stafford doesn't. And I think Stafford's hungrier. Stafford's been doing this a lot longer. And I think as you've seen as the playoffs have progressed, that Stafford is a pretty crafty quarterback. And I know that from watching him in Detroit, that he wasn't the issue with that team. He always gave it 110%, even when he was hurt. And, I would love to see him get the Super Bowl trophy and the MVP as well. I mean, I'm really pulling for him. There's a few other players on the Rams. So back to this beer and the name of it. And one of the reasons I like to pick it is most of you that know me know I'm a Chicago Bears fan. And so I would scream the name of this beer out loud about halfway through the season every year for the last lots of years. So fudge.
Gee, that's right. Only he didn't say fudge.
All right, now we have one Bengals and one Rams vote. Steve V feeling a little bit better, although I'm pretty sure he thinks that none of our predictions are going to mean anything when it comes to game day. But all right, let's move to Greg over in Dearborn. Tell us about your Superb Owl beer.
My Superb Owl beer. All right, I am representing the Midwest, and I am going with a Jackie O's Imperial Stout. This is their Abandon the Halogens. This was Imperial Stout brewed with honey and lactose and aged in bourbon barrels for 14 months. So this clocks in at a beautiful 14.5%. Comes in a 12.7 fluid ounce bottle, which is very typical for the Jackie O's stouts to come into. I do believe, this is a 2021. It's on the label here. really cool label here, and got like a little campfire surrounded by some wooden stools and like a little woodsy setting here. Oddly enough, with like a little street light above it, so must be some reference there to the halogen. Anyway, so I picked it up just recently down in Ohio. I believe it was $16 for the bottle, which is typical and kind of come to expect it. So the beer in the glass has been sitting probably for about 20 minutes to come up to temp here. She is dark as dark can be. There is no, maybe at the very bottom of the glass there's like a little reddish hue, but not, or maybe like a little brown sugar hue to it. But like Chris's beer before it, she is grabbing the glass pretty well, so she knows she's got some alcohol legs to her. So let's grab a smell off of it. Bourbon. Oh, there's the bourbon. Oh, it's boy, you get that sweetness from the bourbon along with maybe a honey influence to it, but it's just it smells sticky, sweet, just like maybe it's got a little burn to it in the smell, but this is going to be fantastic. So cheers. Here we go. First taste. Whoa, smooth as 14.5% I've ever had. That follows it up with wow, just the smoothest, sweetest, sticky brown sugar caramel, chocolate mixed in there. Wow. Getting a little bit of burn to it, just a little bit from the alcohol, but absolutely delicious. I don't know what to tell it. It really didn't have a head to, after I poured it in there, it just dissipated really quickly. This is really good. This is a nice winter's night winter warmer, and really enjoying this one. I don't know what the lactose would add to it, but certainly is a delicious beer. That's all I can say about it. But really, anything Jackie O seems to produce in terms of the barrel-aged stout series I've had really are just fantastic, and I couldn't recommend them anymore. So, in terms of the game itself, I'm not a Lions fan. I'm not really a Lions fan. I'm happy to see Matt Stafford do well, but I guess I would prefer to see the Bengals win. Sorry, Steve. Guess it was just a little. At least around here lately, it's just Matt Stafford. I'm just tired of that. At least on the local news programs. But if I had to do a prediction, probably go back with like Chris's prediction, field goal to win. Maybe at the end of the game, that would be pretty cool. So there you go. That's my decision. And if it doesn't happen, I guess I'm cool with it too. So
that's your story, and you're sticking to it.
I'm sticking to it. That's right.
All right, that's 2 Bengals and 1 Rams. Steve. I know Steve's picking the Rams. I guess that means I'm the swing vote.
Ooh.
All right, well. I am located at the Phoenix Tombstone Brewery in Phoenix, Arizona. Come up here on business. But I had to find a California beer. And I saw some stuff, and I was like trying to get something close to LA. There was tons of stuff from San Diego. And I came across a beer I really wanted to taste that it really isn't from LA, Steve V, so sorry, but it's from Alameda, which is up north Oakland. But I figured you guys own the Niners. Well, not really, because the Niners beat the crap out of you like 5 times in a row, but you beat them when the stage was biggest. So you own them now, and that's the beer I'm going to pick. This is an almanac beer. It's called Boost Coffee Stout, decadent, bold, velvety at 9%. It's a imperial stout brewed with coffee and vanilla beans, and it just was too good to be true. And brewed on December 8th. I went to their website and learned that each batch is brewed with a different coffee, and it says go to the date to find out what coffee it's brewed with, but all it says is the date on it. So apologies to whatever coffee company this is, but it doesn't matter. I've already poured it, and I've had a long day and needed to get into it a little early. It's actually my second beer because I've had such a long day, but I'm going to review this beer. It's really, really good. It is from California. Again, the wrong part of California. There's Southern California and Northern California, but again, I'm going to use the premise of the Rams defeating the 49ers. They own the state. So enough banter. Let's drink some beer. So I've poured this. This is a Imperial Stout. It is just shy of pitch black, very dark brown, but I can see some light getting through it from an angle. 9%. The aroma is definitely very roasty and very coffee-like, and I can even detect a little bit of vanilla. So it's starting out to be a very good experience for me. So let's take a sip. The coffee hits you right away. I mean, there's a lot of this is fresh. It's about a month old, actually 2 months old. So never mind, but it's still very fresh. The coffee is it hasn't faded at all. Nice, solid, great roasty coffee flavor. Nice blend, too. And I might add that the vanilla beans in here really, really add a great finish to this because you start with that roasty coffee, then you get kind of like the more from the malt, and then at the very end, the vanilla just takes over with not really a cloying sweet, just a nice vanilla subtle finish. Really very enjoyable. Roasty coffee, it's already waking me up too. The mouthfeel on this for an Imperial Stout is maybe a little thin. I'm not complaining, but an Imperial Stout I would expect to be a little bit more full-bodied, but that's also reflected in the appearance where you can see light through it. So it's kind of like a lighter Imperial Stout, 9%, nothing to laugh at, but, we've seen stronger, but you're going to get a great drinking experience for this. It's very drinkable. It's very flavorful. My only critique with it, maybe just a tad thin, but I'm not kicking it out of bed nor complaining. It's very good. So again, this is Boost Coffee Stout, Almanac Brewing. Very quick marketing read from their website. Boost is a bold and decadent stout, turbocharged with coffee and vanilla beans. We partner with a new coffee roaster for each batch. You can check the canning date on your can to learn more about our awesome coffee partners, which I didn't really learn. It just says on the can the same thing. We do a different coffee roaster. But, hey, no complaints, man. Very good beer. So let's talk about a little bit about my prediction for the game. And so I'm a huge football fan. I watch football, much to my wife's chagrin. Every Sunday I am watching, I play fantasy football. I'm in like tons of leagues, even one with Chris. I don't miss many games, and I like to consider myself a knowledgeable football fan. The one thing that I think is going to tilt this game to the Rams' favor is the weakness of the Cincinnati Bengals is their offensive line. Everybody knows it. Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times against the Tennessee Titans in the first round of the playoffs. And I think either 0 or 1 time against the Chiefs, because the Chiefs just don't have that big offensive line. But if there's a offensive or a defensive line to be feared in the NFL, it is the Rams. They've got Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that front four is rough.
And they've got Von Miller, came over from the Broncos. I mean, they have mortgaged the future. They are all in on this year. I think they're all hungry. I think they brought Matt Stafford in because I think they knew Jared Goff wasn't going to get it done. They have gone all in. This is like a high-stakes poker game where they were all in. If they don't win this, they've traded, years of draft picks. I just think there's way too much at stake. And like others have said earlier in the show, Joe Burrow is an unbelievable talent. And, I don't know if anybody could match up, to live up to the next Tom Brady. But, if there's anybody you could predict that could be anywhere close to that, it would be him. But, he's in the infancy of his career. So I think that Burrow's got a great future. I like Burrow. I like the Bengals. I would love to see them win. They've never won a Super Bowl. But as a betting man and as a student of the game who watches a lot of football, I don't think there's any way that the Rams are going to lose this game. So, Steve V, my vote goes for the Rams. I think you're going to take it home this time. I hope you do. I'm rooting for you. And that's really the other reason I have to root for the Rams, because I want to see you win one. Because I'll never forget how much I enjoyed the Eagles winning that won before I die Super Bowl a few years ago. So I'm rooting for you. I had a great California beer, and I feel good about the Rams' chances.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Here's some big news just in time for the Super Bowl. Draftkings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is officially live right here in New York State with mobile sports betting. That means you can place a bet no matter where you are with Draftkings Sportsbook. And Draftkings is making it even more exciting. Listen to this. DraftKings is giving new customers a special offer that you don't want to miss. Bet just $5 or more on the Super Bowl and win $280 in free bets if your team is victorious. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Sign up using code IHEARTNY. Bet just $5 or more and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code IHEARTNY this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full details. Must be 21 or older and physically present in New York. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Making a new to-do list? Consider getting the house painted done with CertaPro Painters. The professionals at CertaPro Painters are ready to transform every room from blah to beautiful, treating your walls to a colorful new coat of paint. They'll handle every detail, from prepping to painting, on time and on budget, so you can relax. Go to CertaPro.com for a free estimate and get started today. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Save up to 25% on over 300 floors during the President's Day sale at LL Flooring. There's a floor for every style and any budget. Choose from hardwood, laminate, and waterproof floors in the latest trends and save up to 25%. Plus, with special financing, you can get started right away. Sale ends February 22nd. Shop online or find a store near you today at llflooring.com. From inspiration to installation, find the floor you'll love at LL Flooring.
Here's some big news just in time for the Super Bowl. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is officially live right here in New York State with mobile sports betting. That means you can place a bet no matter where you are with DraftKings Sportsbook. And DraftKings is making it even more exciting. Listen to this. DraftKings is giving new customers a special offer that you don't want to miss. Bet just $5 or more on the Super Bowl and win $280 in free bets if your team is victorious. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Sign up using code IHEARTNY. Bet just $5 or more and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code IHEARTNY this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full details. Must be 21 or older and physically present in New York. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
ChristopherMedia.net.
So let's turn it over to Steve V, our Rams fan in Los Angeles.
Well, I appreciate the vote of confidence, and just like how you mentioned, I think defense is going to play huge in this game, and I think that's going to, like I said, that's going to tilt it in our favor. You with the offense we have now with Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Akers back and Odell Beckham's out there. I mean, I can't imagine if we still had Woods playing. It's a shame that he can't be here this year. But looking at the defense, I think that's going to really, if our defense can't put pressure on them, it's going to be a long day for the Rams. Like I says, the Bengals throughout this playoffs, they found a way to win, and so hopefully their luck will run out on this one, especially since we're going to be at home, hosting it in our home stadium. But to correct yourself, JR, we lost 6 in a row to 49ers. They beat us 6 in a row. So I want to make sure that's out there.
Yeah, well, you got a 1-game winning streak now.
Yes, exactly. So for my beer, my LA beer I picked today is from actually a really new company. In fact, they don't even have a brewery. They brew this beer out of Indie Brew, which is out in Boyle Heights. This company is kind of based out of East LA, and the brewer is kind of like one of these jack of all trades. They do coffee, they have like a music business, and they've been dabbling in the beer business now. So end of last year, they came out with this beer, and the name of the brewery is Cervecería Mundial, and it's a quail pale ale. And I'm going to ask you guys, I don't understand what the quail is on it. I don't know if they just named it because it's the California state bird, but it's let's see here. I want to say it was a 5.5%. So the can it's decorated. It's decorated with the Laker colors. In fact, they have the championship. This is the championship edition from the Lakers of the '80s, and it just so happened that the all those '80s championships are won at the Forum, which is right across the street from SoFi. So I figured this is it's all tied in there. So I poured it in my glass. It had a decent head, but it's already dissipated. It's super, super clear. It's almost like watered down apple juice. It's you can see right through it. Smells delicious. Well, really great tasting, really smooth, enjoyable all the way through. No harsh bitterness. Just a really good beer. I'm really, really pleasantly surprised, and I'm glad that they're one of their early beers that they're putting out is such good, and I hope it really gets off and they can put out more. But this is really, really good. I'm gonna drink another drink. Yeah, just really really smooth, really subtle. Like I said, it's a 5.5, so it's something you can drink all day. I think, like I says, if you can find this, anywhere, which would probably be difficult just because of its low distribution, I would highly recommend it. Just like I said, it's just a nice, really pleasant beer. I'm hoping it sends good vibes to the Rams this weekend. I appreciate all those who chose the Rams. Everyone else, I don't like you no more. But actually, Greg, when he was flying over and landing in LA, he did send me a great picture from up in the air of SoFi with all its light.
You appreciate that
and all its glory and stuff. So, yeah. So I'm hoping this is the season. I know we do have that one win, but it was when they were St. Louis, so it doesn't technically count.
That's right, the Kurt Warner greatest show on turf years.
Yes,
right.
And so hopefully we can do it this year. We can do it at our own place, like Tom Brady in Tampa Bay did it last year, and I'm glad Tom Brady's not playing us, and so I'll be standing. I'll be hoping for nothing but good news. So,
well, good luck. I think you have a great chance to win it all, but that's why they play the games. I'm also glad Tom Brady's not playing. Although I can be proud that Nick Foles beat him a few years ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I do have another beer to honor Joe Burrow, but I'm going to ask anybody else if they have a second beer. And before we do that, let's just talk a little bit about some beer news. And I wanted to bring up, the sale of the Bell's Brewery and the retirement of Larry Bell. And Dugout, I probably will just turn this over to him. He has more personal maybe dealings with and knowledge of Bell's and Larry Bell. Having had some personal interactions with him, but a great class act, and I think that the way he went about his business, and even when he divested himself of the business, did the right thing and did it the right way, and We all love Bell's Brewery, so we are going to dedicate our next episode to Larry Bell and Bell's Brewery. But let me just turn it over to Dugout to say a few words about Larry and what he's all about.
Yeah, just a class guy all around, but also, he's a lot of fun. And my first interactions with him were in the early 90s, and I was managing this bar and restaurant, and it was the first all-craft beer bar restaurant in all of Chicagoland, and it just happened to be in the suburbs. And Larry would drive a van from Kalamazoo with kegs of Bell's Amber Ale, Expedition Stout, early versions of Eccentric, and just deliver them himself. And then he would sit up at the bar through the course of a night, pinting himself thoroughly. And anybody that was purchasing the pints, he would buy them. So needless to say, he would just get tanked. And but what a great guy, just a lot of fun. And there was some years ago, I think it was the 35th anniversary. It was a pretty big deal for them. And I just happened to be in Kalamazoo, and I was picking up some ingredients for brewing. And I turned around and I said, "Oh, Larry, how are you?" And he's like, "Doug, how are you?" I said, "How do you even remember my name?" Like, that was in the 90s, And that's just a testament to the kind of guy he is. I mean, he's just really a good time, but also a pioneer of craft brewing as we know it. Sort of that entrepreneurial spirit, but not afraid to think outside the box when it came to brewing beer. And Eccentric Ale was always a showcase of that sort of attitude when it came to brewing. He's going to be missed. And when stuff like this happens, I get nervous, because the first tagline from the company buying is like, everything's going to stay the same. But we all know that, and especially if you've ever been through this within a company, that it doesn't take but 2 or 3 weeks, and it's not the same. So fingers crossed that it does, that the innovation stays. I think they're still innovating with some really great stuff, but their lineup is so solid. And Two Hearted is just a mainstay. Just incredible. And he's going to be missed. He really is going to be missed. But, you get to a point in your life and you're like, I've done what I need to do. It's time to relax. And I think that's where he's at.
Amen. I can't blame him a bit. Like, again, I think, no one likes to see breweries sell out. I know they're in with Lion, the Australian company that owns New Belgium now too. So some concern, maybe international ownership, but you got to hope that they'll preserve the quality that they have today. It'll still be brewed in Michigan. It'll still be a Michigan beer. Is there some luster loss? Yes, but let's let the jury decide. Let's give it some time and see. But man, a great tribute you gave, Doug. This guy Larry's one of the pioneers of craft beer. He truly is. He's a legend, and you can't blame him. Cashing out, and it's time. He put in his time. He deserves to take it easy now and take a step back and move on with his life. So we're sad to see him go, but we will be dedicating our next episode to Larry and the great beers that he has brewed. And talk about a tough decision. Like, what are you going to drink next episode, guys? I mean, you got Black Note, you got Third Coast Old Ale, you got Two Hearted, one of the legendary IPAs of all time.
Hop Slam.
Hop Slam is out now. I saw it in Total Wine today. I almost bought it for this episode, but gosh, there's just so many great beers to pick from. And having lived in Michigan, Bell's is one of those rare treasures, and we can only cross our fingers and hope that the new stewards of the brand, take care of it, because we have seen some stuff go downhill. Anyway, is it, anybody else have any comments on Bells or any more beer news to discuss?
No.
I haven't really put too much thought into it. All my thoughts were with the Bells is the biggest news. I don't think there's been any big buyouts or anything. So, if no one else, does anybody else have another beer, or am I the only one?
I guess you're in. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to make it count because, as I said, I had a long day. I traveled from Tucson to Queen Creek, Arizona today, and then an hour and a half from Queen Creek to Glendale for an appointment. And now I'm at the Tombstone Phoenix Brewery. We call it Tombstone North, Thomas Road and 40th for anybody local. But without further ado, I would like to at least, I felt like I got to acknowledge both teams. And kind of funny, I couldn't find a single Ohio beer in all of Total Wine today in Queen Creek, Arizona. I found a few things from Kentucky, and what I ended up buying was a miniature of Four Roses Select, Small Barrel Select. But I'm not going to drink a bourbon on a beer show. So when I got here to the Tombstone Brewery, I was looking at the cooler. What can I say about Joe Burrow? And I came across a beer that I treasure called Maris the Classy Otter. It is a British-style barley wine ale, 14% alcohol, and it's got a nice picture of an otter with a top hat, a cane, and a bow tie on. So, I figured, what? Joe Burrow is a pretty classy guy. He smokes cigars after he wins, and I think he's got a very bright future. So I do want to toast to Joe Burrow. But I'm still rooting for Steve V to win the Super Bowl this week in the Rams. But you know what? Joe Burrow, class act, won championship with LSU. And one thing we can all agree on, especially people, Michigan fans, you guys, Michigan fans, is he made it out of Ohio State and then won a national championship with LSU after he transferred from Ohio State. So even though he's an Ohio guy and he's playing back in Ohio, we can all agree, at least I think all of us on this podcast, is, no one really cares for Ohio State. I know as a Penn Stater, I don't. So let's do a toast to that. Toast to Joe Burrow. Good luck, but hope you lose this one and win many more. So let's talk about Maris the Classy Otter before I take a sip. This traditional barley wine features 100% floor malted Maris Otter barley and an incredibly long boil for flavor and color development. Rich and malty with a raisiny aroma, the flavor is dominated by notes of biscuit, prune, and cherry. 14% ABV. Now, I love a good port, and I love good sherry, and I am if you blindfolded me, I'd almost think this is one of those. More sherry than port. Maybe a little bit touch of fruit on the nose. A little cherry, little blackberry, prune. And I taste this. First of all, the appearance. It's very similar to that other stout I had, only maybe a little bit lighter brown, which you would expect from a barley wine. And thinner mouthfeel, which I would also expect from a barley wine, but 14%, pretty good. The one thing that I do detect in this that wasn't mentioned in the description from the Tombstone website was, it says rich and malty with a raisiny aroma. The flavor is dominated by notes of biscuit, prune, and cherry. I am also getting some almond in this. Nice little nutty flavor. But the big thing about it is it does not drink like it's 14%. I mean, I'm not saying it's something that you'd sit down and crush, but it's pretty drinkable for a 14% beer. So all you Barley Wine is Life fans, this is for you. Joe Burrow, I know you're going to probably have a great career and win multiple rings. I just don't think it'll be this Sunday. So my hat's off to you, Joe, but Matt Stafford, I hope you're the classiest otter on this Sunday. It's my story. I'm sticking to it. So there you have it.
Perfect.
Maris, the classy otter.
Perfect.
Anybody else? Anything to add? Any beer news? Home brewing? Dugout, have you been brewing?
Oh, yeah. Yep, still brewing. I just put in a Imperial Stout. Transferred it to keg last night. Had a little bit of sip of it today. It still needs to carb out a little bit, but it's really delicious. I did sort of give it a West Coast hop treatment with Cascade and Centennial and some Simcoe Cryo hops. It's coming in at about 9.5%. And yeah, it's delicious. At first, when I transferred it last night, I was getting a lot of the hop tube and I was tasting it. I'm like, geez, this is almost like a double black IPA at this point. But as I sampled it today, I got more of the roasty and the stout part of it. And it's actually fermented with a East Coast style of yeast, sort of the Teddy Topper type yeast, which I've used in the past for double IPAs, and there's a technique to using it, and it takes like an extra week to let it kind of sit and have a diacetyl rest, but it gives fantastic results, and it gets that ABV up there. So very pleased with that. We've got 2 beers in a competition. One I brewed, and this one's getting its it's getting a lot of tread wear on it because we initially brewed this outside for Urban Rest Brewing in Ferndale. They do a homebrew competition every year, and they did it on Learned Homebrew Day, which I think is like early November. And so John Golden and I put together we brewed a wee heavy. And we had done this beer once before between the two of us, but he had bought the grains at this beer store that we used to use. That was notorious for not grinding their grains, right? And it came out like crap. And so this time we had all the right stuff. Temperature outside was cold, and we got the right amount of evaporation. I had done the mash the night before, so we didn't have to sit out in the cold weather doing a mash, and just had to brew the beers. So that event's coming up, but we also took the opportunity to bottle some off. There's a midwinter homebrew classic that's in Milwaukee that judges the weekend after next, and in that competition is that beer. And then I also made my first cider, and it was a local cider maker, or they do like non-alcoholic ciders. They don't, but they had a late harvest pressing, and I made a cider out of it. This stuff's awesome. I used the Bubbles yeast from Omega and just the apple cider. I mean, it was just the easiest thing I've ever made, really. You just pour it in, put the yeast in, cap it, have your temp set, and let it go. And so that is entered in. So we got the 1-2, we got the Urban Rest judging is coming up. That's been put off because of COVID. But it also gave the beer, the wee heavy, an opportunity to mature a little bit. And I had actually put that into my cellar. I've got a true root cellar in my basement, and it did a lot of its own carbonation in the keg itself with what little yeast and sugars were left. So it's when I put it on the keg, it just didn't need much, if anything, really. And it's really drinking well. So I got high hopes for that. And then there's an English beer competition coming up in Columbus, and that's another month and a half away. But I've got those two entered in there, the cider, because I ended up entering the cider as an English dry, medium carbonated cider. So looking forward to seeing the results on both of those.
Awesome. I wish I could give you some brewing news, but I haven't brewed in quite a while, and working for a brewery has kind of made it difficult to make time or be motivated to brew, because I have so many good beers at my disposal from my employer. But I went to my homebrew club meeting on Sunday, and it kind of kicked me in the butt. Like, hey, I really want to I wanted to brew that, Irish car bomb stout that was so good several years ago. So I may get motivated and get a batch going here soon. Hopefully by the next time we have a show, I'll be able to contribute to this section. So good stuff, Doug. You always have a great. I admire your tenacity and continuing to brew, and I wish I had your motivation and talent. So anybody else? I guess it's kind of like last call. Anybody else have anything to add, or is it time to head to Mexico City?
Let's head to Mexico.
All right. Well, I am now going to turn it over to Chris because it's been a long time since we asked him to do this. But where can you download our shows? Even it's been a while, but I think we're going to step it up here and maybe make a push to get through 2022 with some more shows. So, Chris, take it away with where you can find us, and then I'll take us to Mexico City.
We're on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Beer Nuts Podcast. That's how you find us.
Are we still on Spotify, or do we pull?
Oh no, we're everywhere. Yeah, no, we're everywhere.
No, but isn't that the rage to pull yourself off of Spotify right now?
Yeah, I don't understand why giving yourself less ears is a thing right now, but.
You can still find us there then.
Yeah, we are everywhere that you can listen to a podcast. We are there. Wherever you listen to us, rate us, review us. That is how you help people find the podcast. We would appreciate it. And you can also email us, beernutspodcast@christophermedia.net.
Amen. Well, as they say, everybody, barley wine is light. And as they say in old Mexico City, A-M-F.
Here's some big news just in time for the Super Bowl. Draftkings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is officially live right here in New York State with mobile sports betting. Download the Draftkings Sportsbook app now. Sign up using code IHEARTNY. Bet just $5 or more and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code IHEARTNY this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full details. Must be 21 or older and physically present in New York. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Wait a minute. I've heard that before. That's the note Jeremy wrote to me in my yearbook in the 6th grade. How'd you even know that?
Because it's from Geico.
Yeah, wait, here it is. Dear Luke, have a great summer. P.S. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. Love, Jeremy.
Geico's had this tagline for years, 'cause we help save people money.
So wait, you're saying Jeremy copied you? Yeah, that actually does sound like something the J-Man would do.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Knockoffs, copycats, imitators. They all share one thing in common. They always pale in comparison next to the true original. Just like the stylish and versatile Lexus RX. The crossover that paved the way for others. And it's still the best for one simple reason. Nothing else is as good as the original. Click the banner to discover more. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.